You're watching WPTA-TV, Fort Wayne.
This is WKJG-TV, Stereo 33.
Right. And I'm Dean Fantasia. A new proposal from the Kroger Company has delayed a strike by...
33, let's all be there.
This is News Center 33.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Burton.
And I'm Ken Foreman.
Both presidential candidates are spending time this weekend.
This is WPTA-TV, Fort Wayne. 21 Alive News with Victor Locke, Jane Hersha, and Kathy Balloon. Now, the latest from the 21 Alive newsroom.
Good afternoon. 21 gun salutes rang out as the battleship USS Iowa.
This is WPTA-TV, Fort Wayne. 21 Alive News with Keith Edwards, Susan Alderman, Greg Johan, and Jay Walker. Now, the latest from the 21 Alive newsroom.
Good evening, I'm Victor Locke for Keith Edwards.
And I'm Susan Alderman. Our top story, charges have been filed tonight in connection with...
This is 33 News at noon with Linda Jackson, Greg Schaub-Weather, and Dick Floria, Editor's Desk.
Hi, everybody. Hope your Monday's off to a good start. I said that this morning, and I still mean.
This is 33 News at 6 with Jim Payne, Melissa Long, John Miller Weather, and Ken Horman Sports.
Good evening. Melissa will join us in just a couple of minutes.
This is WPTA-TV, Fort Wayne, a Granite Broadcasting Company station. Your number one news with Keith Edwards, Marty Wright, Greg Johan, and Jay Walker. Now, the latest from the 21 Alive newsroom.
This is WPTA-TV, Fort Wayne, a Granite Broadcasting Company station. Your number one news with Keith Edwards, Marty Wright, Greg Johan, and Jay Walker. Now, the latest from the 21 Alive newsroom.
Good evening, everyone. They are the object of our anger, frustration, and
This is WPTA-TV, Fort Wayne, a Granite Broadcasting Company station. Your number one news with Keith Edwards, Melissa Long, Dean Fantasia, Jay Walker, and Marty Wright with good news. Now, the latest from the 21 Alive newsroom. These machines creeping back in. From Fort Wayne's first television station, your source for local news. Outdoor weather, 24-hour news updates, and sports. You're watching 33 News Night Watch.
The polls open.
You're watching WPTA-TV 21 Alive News at 5 with Keith Edwards, Melissa Long, and Brent Tranum.
You're watching WPTA-TV 21 Alive News with Keith Edwards, Melissa Long, Brent Tranum, Dean Fantasia, and Marty Wright with good news.
An industrial accident claims the life of a Fort Wayne man.
The NBC 33 weather line, 420-TV33. This is NBC 33 News at 6.
The Grand Wayne Center is a step closer to expanding. Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Jackson. We'll hear from Jim Bailey later on this evening. The first step...
Closed captioning on 21 Alive is brought to you by the Hearing Center. You're watching WPTA-TV 21 Alive Morning News with Jennifer Blomquist.
Brian Elijah, and Jay Walker.
And good morning. It's 5 o'clock Monday, January 31st.
You're watching WPTA-TV 21 Alive News at 6. With Keith Edwards, Melissa Long, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Smith, and Dean Fantazzi.
You're watching WKJG, NBC 33, Fort Wayne. Live, this is NBC 33 News 11 at 11. Your 11 minutes of nonstop news is on NBC 33.
Residents in one West Central neighborhood say they've never had any problems with crime until now, as Fort Wayne police investigate a...
You're watching 21 Alive News on WISE 33.
Coming up, Sunni Arabs take to the streets in protest of the new constitution, and Hurricane Katrina is just beginning to make her mark on the nation. Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Jackson. Thank you for joining 21 Alive News on WISE 33. Our top story tonight, Hurricane Katrina has diminished tonight to a category...
You're watching Indiana's News Center at 5. With Keith Edwards, Melissa Long, and Curtis Smith. Indiana's News Center on 21 Alive.
My forecast to find out.
Live, this is Indiana's News Center at 6 on 21 Alive.
If you're behind the wheel of a moving vehicle this weekend, be sure to buckle up.
The National Click It or Ticket Camp.
This is Indiana's News Center Prime News at 11.
I'm Linda Jackson. Tonight on Prime News, right here on Indiana's News Center, a history-making meeting as Pope Benedict XVI talks with several victims of clergy.
Closed captioning on Indiana's News Center is provided by the Hearing Center. Live, this is Indiana's News Center at 6 on 21 Alive.
Governor Mitch Daniels, he is confident.
Live, this is Indiana's News Center at 11 on 21 Alive.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Long. We've heard a lot about the possibility of high-speed passenger...
Now, this is NBC 33 News at 11. High Definition brought to you by Fort Wayne Toyota Southwest in the 1469 Auto Mall.
After a rape comment puts Richard Murdoch in a ring of fire, a national political figure removes his endorsement. Plus, a standoff continues on the city's northeast side. Details coming up.
A warm day, now a mild night. Find out what tomorrow will bring in the Pinpoint Viper HD forecast.
U.S. Senator John McCain has withdrawn his endorsement of
High Definition, brought to you by Fort Wayne Toyota Southwest in the 1469 Auto Mall.
Right now on NBC 33, shootings continue in Fort Wayne. We have the latest on a weekend incident and an arrest made in the city's latest homicide. Plus, it's an app that seems to be designed to hide from you what your kids are sending and receiving from their friends. We get a social media expert's take on Snapchat.
Right now, this is NBC 33 News.
Hello, I'm Megan Trent. Welcome to your news on NBC 33. Katie Law has our...
Live, this is 21 Alive News at 11.
Big money coming to Northeast Indiana. Governor Pence making it official today. And the YWCA making big progress in our city, a new building for people who need it the most. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but first the weather. Rain on the way.
Live, this is 21 Alive News Weekend.
Mike Pence on the campaign trail here in the Midwest. He made a couple of stops close to home. Plus, celebrating a blessing. We have the story about how a kidney donation turned a life around.
Mild for now, but heat and humidity will return. Full details coming up in just a bit.
Across the state line, Mike Pence...
From WPTA, your weather authority, this is ABC 21 News at 5.
With less than a week now until Joe Biden's inauguration, federal authorities are warning of new violent...
From WPTA, your weather authority, this is ABC 21 News at 6.
We are just one day away from diving into the mashed potatoes, the stuffing, and of course, what Alexis really loves, all that's early.
From WPTA, your weather authority, this is ABC 21 News at 11.
All new at 11, we're learning what likely sparked a fire in a Fort Wayne hotel that forced more than 20 people.
negative 40. Human beings are not supposed to live in temperatures like that.
I know I'm kind of worried for us in our home.
The last thing you want to do is to expose yourself to the elements and not have any shelter.
Getting too cold can cause you to have some issues with confusion, can cause issues with your internal organs.
Keep your dogs inside.
If you want to go in, they're probably ready to go in.
Stay in if you don't have to go out, and bundle up if you are.
Good morning. We are focused on the freeze today here on the Fort Wayne's.
Live from Television Park, this is Fort Wayne's NBC News Today.
Hey, good morning, and thank you so much for starting off your Memorial Day with us. I'm Adam Shear. My partner Julian Teekram.
Live from Television Park, this is Fort Wayne's NBC News at 6.
And we begin the news at 6 with a developing story in the near southwest side of the fort. Police.
Live from Television Park, this is Fort Wayne's NBC News at 11.
My phone vibrated and I was going out to break, and I thought, what? He never calls me on my break. And I answered, and he's like, hey, listen, the building's on fire.
I was rudely awoken this morning to somebody pounding on my door telling me to get out of the building. It was on fire. I honestly thought they were playing.
Wow, well, new at 11 tonight, Fort Wayne fire officials confirm that an electrical...
Starting today, the details on the section of that road will be closed for over a year.
From WPTA, this is 21 Alive Morning News.
Something else is looking pretty different today. Good morning, 21 Country. I'm Tony Benton Jr.
And WPTA, this is 21 Alive News at Noon.
We begin this noon hour by taking a live look over Fort Wayne. A cold start to the week. Temperatures.
From WPTA, this is 21 Alive News at Noon.
We begin this afternoon with a live look over Fort.
From WPTA, this is 21 Alive News at 11.
All right, everybody, here we go. This is The View from Science Central looking into a...
Now, from your local news leader, this is 21 Alive News.
And we are your First Alert weather station, and that's where we begin.
Good afternoon and welcome to Insight. I'm your host, Rachel Berry. Thank you so much for joining us on the...
Hear this.
Now, from your local news leader, this is 21 Alive News.
Welcome to 21 Alive News at 4. I'm Heather Herron. And I'm Linda Jackson. Thanks for being with us for your only local newscast this time of the day.
Now, from your local news leader, this is 21 Alive News.
Well, just as things are expected to warm up a little bit, another blast.
Now, from your local news leader, this is 21 Alive News.
It has been the big story, the top story.
Now, from your local news leader, this is 21 Alive News.
That's a gorgeous live look at the downtown skyline. Thanks.
Now, from your local news leader, this is 21 Alive News.
As you might know, Election Day next week, and some people are...
Now, from your First Alert station, this is 21 Alive News.
We want to start with our First Alert forecast this morning, and it's...
Now, from your First Alert station, this is 21 Alive News.
After several days of deliberation, the jury in the Delphi...
21 Alive, the choice of the news generation. You're watching WISE 33.